I'll just be nibbling as we go.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Rise, where Ian will be nibbling as we go.
I was running late! I have dinner with me and it's already sort of cold! The sandwich wasn't good.
Oh, that's funny. So we are a professional Dungeons & Dragons stream. We know what we're doing here, and we do it well. So before we jump into this fantastic tale of weird creatures, characters, and NPCs, let's go around the table and introduce ourselves. My name is Lucas. I will be your dungeon master for this evening. My pronouns are he, him, and I am suffering from pandemic hair. Ian.
Hi, my pronouns are he, they. I'm suffering from buying groceries right after work and not having time. So if I'm eating dinner, mind your business. I play, my pronouns are he, they, and my character is weary, pronouns they, them. They're currently doing that fun little thing you get to do if you're playing a scientist character, which is scavenging the battlefield, not for weapons or magic items, but for like monster bits, just to see what you find.
Meg.
Hey, I am Meg. I'm playing our favorite socially anxious godling druid who made some very questionable decisions, but dumb stat whiz. Their pronouns are they, them, and mine are she, they, and I am suffering from I am an educator hair.
Jess.
Hi there, my name is Jess. My pronouns are she, her. I will be playing Glyph, the automata android rogue. Their pronouns are they, them, and they are covered in worm juice, and it's awful.
And we'll get them skinned, don't worry. Eve.
Hello, I'm Eve, and I'm playing TK37, the telekinetic goblin super soldier, and I am suffering from having a mouthful of pizza.
I don't know if that's suffering, but Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason, and I'll be playing Kratok, the simply superb Plumerian bard. And I don't think I'm suffering right now.
That's a win, honestly. I feel like that's Kratok as well at the moment. Kratok has that circlet, you can save your siblings, like you're kind of done, right? Like you're like, I did it. You got rid of your nightmares. All right, so just to start this off, music and sound effects are from Sirenscape, so if you too want some weird sound effects and music, maybe you want some chill vibes, maybe you just want the price of pigs shouted at strange intervals in your dining room when you have in-laws over, you too can share this magic by going to Sirenscape.com. We are also sponsored by Roll20. And thanks to the wonderful people at Roll20, we have a giveaway going on today. What? That's right. Giveaway is the Monster of the Week Mysterious Bundle. But don't worry, it's not too mysterious because I'm going to explain what's in it. The Mysterious Bundle includes 5 Monster of the Week adventures. So you have numerous monsters that you can throw at people unsuspecting. Innocent people who hunt monsters, hunt them down with your cool monsters. You know, make the monster win for a change. Why doesn't the monster have a good ending? Make it happen. And you'll have all your maps, characters, everything loaded up in Roll20 once you pop in that code. Way to play is follow us on Twitch and use the chat. Like you can even just say like, hey, I'll grab your name, put it on the list, and then at the end of the session, I'll put it in a randomizer. I found a better one that doesn't swarm me with pop-ups, and then we'll make that magic happen. But previously on Rise of Nyarlathotep, we had worms for days. There were so many worms. Everybody was dealing with worms. Allura became a frog, tried to eat a bowling ball, then grew to be normal Allura again and ate a bowling ball. There was a large moon being. The intern tried to eat Allura. Weary tried to eat the large moon being with the shield, and then Weary was getting consumed by the shield itself as well. Glyph stared upon this horrible Voltron, wondering why they're here. Kratok was using thermals to his advantage. Of course, we all know that thermals are created from warm pockets of air. You go up, you can use them easy to sail, just lock your wings, you don't even need to flap. TK was really trying to stop Allura from making a deal with an undead demigod. So the party basically was in this big what if moment of like, what can we do? There were so many things hinging. They came here to find this drop of life, this artifact that could fix the whole warped woods. They could also do things like maybe bring back this dead demigod to life. Allura, once consuming this orb, was given a great amount of power. And now it's kind of up to Allura to figure out what to do after making a blood oath just now with this undead demigod. Are there going to be consequences? Come on, we're playing Rise in Nyarlathotep. I love consequences. So yeah. But you know, consequences aren't always bad. Sometimes you could have a good consequence. Who knows? You could have a real powerful ally right now. So that's where we are right now. You're all standing at about 2 feet of worms. It's not fun. TK, you are 6 feet tall and like 120 pounds. It's unsettling, but you are hovering over the worms, but your rage is starting to cool down, so you're starting to sink into the worms with everyone else. Kratok, I believe you're still kind of doing the bird thing and just kind of sailing above them. And
That shit's gross.
Weary is scooping up worms, just asked for spit and got some, and Glyph is trying to clean off worm gunk. I give it to all of you. So you're all standing there right now in the warped woods. The battle is done. This undead demigod finishes shaking hands with Allura. And Allura, there's no flashy magic or anything from this blood pact. There's no like tingling through your body or anything. It's just this deep understanding of how important this is once you do it. You're looking at this being as they're looking down faceless at you. This being's 9 foot tall. They have these flowing robes that are covered in worms. They have this hair that's kind of stuck to them. It's usually long and wavy, but now it's all plastered to them from worm gunk. And they where a face normally would be, it's just like someone scooped it on out.
I will say the moment that Allura shakes this thing's hand, TK's Barkashka go-go juice just refills. She's back to being pissed off, visibly so. Why would you do that? Why? You don't know what the fuck that thing is.
Well, neither do you.
Exactly. You even know what's in there? There could just be some random fucking ghoul piloting that body.
Well, maybe I can help the ghoul move on.
By giving it god power?
It already had it.
No, it doesn't.
You don't know that.
If it did, it would
They
have
weren't in
eaten
your
you.
body, they were in mine. I know the power they had. I could feel it. You don't know shit.
No, that you shouldn't trust random corpses that try to eat you.
You also shouldn't make deals with gods, but pot calling kettle.
I know what I'm dealing with.
Do you?
What is that the god of?
Fuck if I know, but then how do you know that he's the one that you're supposed to kill?
Because I was told that.
Well, you don't know that they're related to Varkashka.
Yes, I do.
I'm gonna walk over, just very gently sidestepping this like back and forth exchange. And I walk up with like the broken shield and just kind of toss it to the side. I'll have to figure out what's up with that later. And I go up to the creepy no face deity thing going on. This would help us a lot more if you could communicate your intentions. So, and bear with me because this might be weird. If you want to like talk through me, I think that might give me an insight into how immortal beings think. And at this point, I'm going whole hog on the immortality thing. So be very cool. I don't know, you like ET phone home this or just like connect with my brain, with your brain so that you can talk through me because I speak all the languages that they understand. And I'm like looking up and I'm not showing any like malice. I know I just slammed a black hole shield into them not 5 seconds prior, but it's a different world now.
Roll a persuasion.
Cool. Time to take out my...
Well, you're rolling and dealing with that. DK's still throwing her arms up in the air. Do you even know what the deal you made is? What happens if you fail?
Then I die.
What do you get if you succeed?
Do we have inspiration in the
I don't care.
We should have.
So that your only options are to die or get nothing. So you made a stupid deal where we could just kill this thing. And now I can't kill it. And I don't know if that's going to kill you or if that's going to get the demigod of fucking war on my ass. What's
Lucas.
going to happen? I don't know. You fucked me.
Lucas, it's with the inspiration that I used. It's a 19.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Weary willingly says,
I'm
I
gonna poke it.
will be your mouthpiece. And
That's
the being
great.
stands behind Weary. So
I wave at everybody.
when I hold up this, if you're new to the stream,
Oh no.
that means that we're
Yeah.
going to be dipping into some body horror. While I have this held up, that means we're still talking about some pretty gross stuff. I mean, we have body horror in this show, but this is when I get to have fun. So when I bring this back down, that means it'll be over, and I can give a TLDR that is more in the safe realm of this thing. So if you want to mute yourself, take off your headphones, anything like that, give you a couple seconds to do so. Okay, Weary. This being steps behind you. You wave at everyone. You're pretty confident. You're in it to win it, honestly. You're like,
I'm out of spell slots at like 10 health, Lucas. At this point, I'm just hanging out.
you're here. So they bring these large clawed hands to either side of your neck, and you feel the nails sink in. And then, we know nails. They're hard. These ones seem to suddenly go wriggling inside your neck as you feel them reaching in to your neck and tightening around different parts inside your throat. So the being puts their fingers on Weary's neck, and their nails dig in. And Weary looks so as uncomfortable as anybody would be in this situation. Weary, you're in the back seat. This isn't your body at the moment. You freak out at first because, you just lost control of your entire body. And you're trying to push it. There's just this immovable wall that's in front of you. And then you start to relax, understanding what you just did. This is something you willingly stepped into. You feel this being start to poke around inside your mind and it seems like it's trying to get a feeling for you. But roll me a sense motive.
Insight? I've played.
That's the term.
I've played 3.5 before,
Sorry.
but
insight
took me a
is the
second.
correct 5e term. I know how to play this game. I've
I was
played it for 4 years.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. I just it feels like not the rightest.
Yes.
I don't have great insight, so I only got an 8.
All right. You are trying to read. What is this thing trying to do? It's reading you, so you try to read it. It's so primal. There's the complexity you suspect of a person or even a being of this degree isn't there. It's such a primal force that you're dealing with. And the strongest feeling you can get from this primal force is its desire to live. So you're feeling this just pulse through you and start to overwhelm you to the point where it's becoming your desire. You just want to live. You don't want to die. You don't want to be undead. You don't want any of that. You just want to live. You're somewhat panicking as you're trying to look into this being. Weary's head turns towards all of you. Eyes roll into the back of their head. You hear this voice. Come on, voice mod, where you at?
You're sending me the script, and I have to turn on voice mode.
God, I wish, but no, we're not. We're not in a podcast.
This is pure improv, baby. I had not thought of this beforehand.
No, I will do it.
This mortal, let me use their voice. I require that life force which the godling has. Bring me back to the world of the living.
Ow.
Place your hands on me and focus. Focus on bringing me to life.
Everybody, just stop touching the corpse! We do not know what that thing is! I think bringing it back will probably be very bad for everyone.
Yeah, well, we thought the same thing about you, and now look, we all like you to an extent.
The small being and the one of metal ended me before.
Say it's got a fucking grudge!
They slayed me for profit. I wish to return for order.
What kind of order? Like you're gonna kill them back?
The moons are falling out of orbit. With no one to guide this, we will begin to see severe issues.
Demigod, that makes sense.
What do you know about Varkashka and the Short One's deal? You were with me all of this time, so like surely you've been around for all of this. Like, were you aware of everything that's been going on since you've been a part of me?
Small traces. I have to sleep. Rakoshka wishes to clean up the dead. I am an abomination.
Thank
But
you.
I don't have to be.
If I gave you the force or the energy that I have, is that going to deplete all of it completely? Because I do have a favor with the Fate Queen, and I don't want to upset her either. Sorry. I don't want to upset them either.
No.
Okay.
Hey, maybe we should consult the Fey Queen first, huh? Maybe we should, I don't know, talk about this with somebody who's smarter than us.
Speak for yourself.
This whole time, Glyph has been like backing away from this whole
Glyph is already back with the Fey Queen.
I'm out. And like sinking back into their clothes like more than they even could. And they're like completely under their wide brimmed hat, and you just hear, if we needed guidance on this, we could send Forvin to collect the ambassador.
Make a perception check, everyone.
Oh, is Forvin dead?
Don't
No,
you
I
dare.
no.
Don't you dare do that to my boy.
When did Farman die? We talked to Farman.
We talked to him. He was fine.
I got
Well,
7.
TK's still pissed off.
I got a 19.
You kicked butt in the fight.
I got a 9.
Orvin's wearing a little cowboy hat.
He's our friend. I got a
TK's
20,
about to
dirty
chop
20.
this thing's hands off so they're out of Weary.
For any of y'all new to the chat, Forvin is our very new dear friend who's a floating eyeball.
It's a pixie, yeah. So it's
He's
a
always
floating
been a part of
eyeball
our
with
group. What are you
spider
talking
legs and bat wings.
Yeah.
A classic
And a tiny-
pixie.
In a tiny cowboy hat.
Yeah, he's always been a part of our team. We love and cherish him. He
Alora,
helps us win a lot of fights.
Alora
I got a
and
16.
okay, Kratok.
I got a 7.
All right, so
Ooh.
Kratok and TK, you don't notice this, but the rest of you Forvin's gone. There's no trace of that little floating pixie. And Alora, you can even see if Forvin might have been invisible, and Forvin is not here.
Oh, never mind.
If I bring you back, like what would you do? This is obviously a lot easier to figure out now that you can, well, kind of talk. Are you just gonna go back to the moons and take care of it? That is your domain.
I will go back to the moons, but I must ensure my siblings are okay.
I don't think that's what it's gonna do. I don't. Laura, I can't technically stop you right now because I don't know what will happen if I kill this thing. And I don't want to blow up your head because, believe it or not, even though I'm super fucking pissed off at you right now, I like you. And I don't want to blow up your head.
You like?
Yes. Even though you are incredibly fucking stupid. This is dumb. This is a bad idea. Can we please just go and talk to the Fae Queen before you touch this thing anymore?
I'll just turn back to Moon Buddy. Will you come back with us to the Fae Queen?
No.
I did make a promise, and I intend on keeping it, but I do need advice from somebody who understands the circumstance, and I'm hoping that maybe she will. Because I do have to bring back their husband.
The Fae Queen wants all of this power.
Well, I mean, a promise is a promise. I did owe you that, and I'd rather not die.
A different promise first. You didn't think about it, did you?
I did.
Barkoshka wants the dead gone. I won't be dead.
Told you!
Know that. I don't even know if you're who you say you are. You could be a big fat fucking liar.
But Glyph knows.
Glyph's just like,
Don't look at me! Don't look at me!
Don't look at me. I will though.
I mean,
I'll step up a little. I'm still behind TK. But I'll step up a little. Okay, I know my memories of going to the moon and fighting this thing and killing this thing are scrambled, but can I try to remember or see if I have a way to analyze it or something in my
yeah, okay.
In my Centurion programming?
I guess insight would be your best bet.
Yeah. Okay. Not bad. That is an 18.
Okay. You're trying to look through past logs, data files, just anything that would give you some hint of who this being is. You do see the ones, every time you're having a flashback or a moment, you are seeing this being, except with their face, the mask that you had previously donned. You do see them. They look just like them without the face, and now their skin's gray. But I mean, that's about as much as you have to go off, right? You're like, it looks right.
This being does look like what I faced before.
If a lich raised your grandma to go eat the local village, you wouldn't invite the corpse out for brunch. Okay? You don't know what's in there. This could just be a skin suit.
This is like every scene where I would want to say something like, I can't. I'm a little
That's
puppet.
right.
Weary.
I
I just gotta keep that little nugget to myself.
I took the one with the smartest intelligence and made them a mouthpiece.
If I didn't do something, they were just gonna kill each other.
Kratok sitting in a tree.
Don't like the Fae Queen, but I think that we should go talk to the Fae Queen. And if this thing had nothing to fucking hide, it would go talk to the Fae Queen with us, right? You're muted.
Thank you. It's just a matter of conflict of interest. Maybe they don't want to deal with other things, and they just want to take care of a family thing. Haven't you ever gone to? Wait, it's you. Never mind. It's like if we were to go back to where we all met up. We don't want to deal with that. We set the town on fire. You know, it's kind of like that.
You don't deal with the Fae Queen. She's got weird fucking powers. We're gonna be like haunted by weird fucking powers for the rest of our fucking lives.
Yes, but her decisions don't affect you. They affect me. I'm the one that fucked up.
Oh no, we all agreed to come out here and help you with this.
Yes,
right?
but I'm
We're in
the
that
chosen
agreement
one
now.
here.
We're tied.
This is my development arc, damn it. This was the Fae Queen's task for me. You guys chose to come along and help. This is not specifically your problem. So if you want, I can just say y'all died in the battle with the giants and they believe me.
I don't think that they would. Also, you are my problem.
Aw, TK.
That's not a compliment.
For Laura, it may as well be.
The moon being did say it would not take all of the power.
Exactly. And I feel strong enough after the worm problem that maybe I could use some extra energy or something and kind of like boost it to where I can revive their husband.
Alora is connected to the world tree as well.
If you're not going to listen to the dumb druid, at least listen to the automata.
Cannot stop you. I just think this is very stupid to raise something that does not like me or Glyph.
Well, not a lot of things like either of you. You're a murderous little hobgoblin and they're...
Yes, but not a lot of them are gods.
Alora,
that you know of.
Alora, perhaps you could ask it to ensure neutrality.
I'm just gonna pivot and
You can trust it. It could be the demigod of fucking lying to everybody for all we know.
I like the idea that Weary got frozen mid thumbs up. So that's just been happening the whole time. And it's like there's definitely like arm bits inside of Weary's mouth to manipulate everything. But it's like, yeah, everything's fine.
Weary agrees.
Weary's...
There's still a lot of worms on the ground.
Oh, it's like 2 feet of worms.
Okay, Chalk's still staying the hell away from all of you.
There's a weird bird.
There's so
I don't want
many.
to stand in worms.
Listen, you don't want to stand in like cake or like soup. You just wait.
If you do it, before you do, at least patch me up, because I feel like shit, and if I have to kill this thing, I don't want to almost be dead.
Well, if all you wanted was healing, and I just toss you the jar.
Not all I want.
It's pouring dirt on yourself.
Yeah.
And while Tika is like lathering herself, I'm just gonna be like, okay, fine, and just shake Moon, like pat the moon being.
Okay.
As Alora just goes ahead and does that, Glyph puts a strong hand on TK's shoulder.
Oh, yeah, TK's got Dark Blade at the ready. She's ready to huck it through that thing's head.
Sorry, I had to make it through Jason's joke. That was pretty good.
Missed
All
you.
right.
Jason.
So you toss the jar of dirt to TK. TK, I imagine you're healing yourself up. So just do those healies quick.
How much is that healing worth?
26, because it was a higher level cure wounds.
Oh, nice. So you feel definitely a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you go to place your hands on the moon being. And when they feel you doing this, they start to retract their fingers from Weary. And Weary, it is, you know when you wake up from a dream and you're like falling and you like jolt forward? It's that. So you just jolt back into your body because you were displaced. And there are marks there. It's just like slivers on your neck. No, they're not bleeding or anything like that. You're basically opened up like some like putty.
Kill.
All right. Through my reckless science, I learned something.
You learned this being is a lot more powerful than
Yeah.
you originally thought.
Yeah, it turns out being immortal means that you like just stop caring about things in general, which is really frustrating because like every place I'm turning is like people that are immortal just like, oh, it's just
Okay.
raw feelings.
Give me an intelligence check, Weary.
Sure. Oh. That is a 23.
It may be influenced that this is an undead being, so you could be. You basically had a moment where you experienced what it's like for, like, say like a banshee to exist.
Oh.
They want to live again, but they're forced into this undead form. So you got, you basically vacationed in that hell.
You got fingered by a corpse, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're good.
It's not the I think that might be the weirdest thing that's happened to me in D&D. That's fine.
So far. So far.
So
we still got the
far.
rest of the campaign to go.
That's true. That's true.
All right, Alora, so you place your hands on this demigod. What would you like to do?
I was gonna say a thing in Spanish, but y'all are white. I don't even like Spanish.
I was gonna say, yeah, Ian.
That's you.
I scream.
Classic Ian.
I will
know a
turn it
teeny
off.
tiny, itty
Except
bitty
you.
little bit
Okay,
of
the majority
Spanish.
of y'all are white.
It's right there.
I was
Just spend the rest
getting
of
there,
this
except
stream
Ian. I was gonna
talking
say
about how
sana colita de rana,
I love that. I say that all the time when I was a kid. It was great.
which basically means heel frog ass in Spanish, but it's like what we say like when we're like rubbing, like, you know, when a kid's like, "Mommy, I hurt my finger." Well, like instead of like kissing it, they go sana colita de rana, and there's a whole thing to it. But like that's kind of it, is like in a different language, not Spanish, but like in a different language, it's kind of what it is. Where it's just like,
yeah.
heal by the nature of the trees and the world around us. Like
I mean,
bring it back.
we're collaborative world building. You can tell me what language that matches closest to if you feel like it.
I mean, I've been in Latin anyway. It may as well be Latin.
I mean, like out of the languages Alora knows.
Oh, whatever's closest to that. I don't really know.
Just pulling up the
Let's do.
stats.
We'll just say Druidic. No one else knows it anyway.
Sweet. So you're saying this, and this energy starts flowing from Alora, and you feel this pulse just echo throughout. And much like when Alora was preparing the rites for those creatures that were killed, those elk, you see a lot of the forest sprites start just popping up and appearing everywhere. There's just so many of them. They're covering the trees. They're on the ground. Some of them are kind of like just walking on top of the worms. Like one's on TK's shoulder. Like they're just appearing everywhere as Alora is glowing this bright light green. And Alora, you're holding on to this moon being as you feel this power flowing into them. You're watching as their skin is becoming more like a paler color, not gray. Like it's just losing that ashy tone as it's starting to change. And you can hear the sounds of cracking and snapping as it looks like pieces of the mask are forming along the sides, and they're forming together to come to make up this face. The whole just forest starts shaking. Alora, you're gone to the world. You are 100% focused on this task. This being is crouched down near you now as this power is flowing into them, bringing them back from the dead. There is all sorts of strange screaming, shouting, weird animal calls coming out from the woods. As you all are looking around everywhere, you feel just the ground shaking. And you look up, and it's probably mid-afternoon at the moment, and you can see the moons clearly in the sky. One, its normal steely gray color. As we all know, this moon is made out of metal, and the other one is the natural rock that's rotating around this planet. You're watching them just suddenly become incredibly visible in the sky as more and more of this mask is coming together, and it looks just like the cybernetic mask, except there isn't the digital marks on it. Instead, it's just this pale, pallid mask. And you can hear now, it sounds like dozens upon dozens upon dozens of creatures are running in this direction. So many of them. And just as the last fragments of this mask are sealing up, you watch this being leading the charge, smashing through the trees that are around the outskirts of this village. You see the warped queen, but she looks different. She normally has more of a feminine figure, and they normally they have that crown that's twisting and going all different directions. Now they're in this hulking form. They are twice their normal height. The obsidian and like blood that makes up half of them is like twisted and formed into like these large claws in one hand. Like they're all really bulked up. The other side is like stone and vines and moss, and they're looking around everywhere trying to figure out like what's happening as they're charging forward. Fae are coming from all angles as they're all coming in, and they halt as they watch the last of this mask just snap, and it comes back together. This ripple of energy rips out in the area. Everyone is knocked off their feet except Alora. All the beings fall backwards as there is so much energy in the air. Your hair is floating up. You see these moons now are in clear view. You feel like gravity itself is starting to shift a bit as you're lifting into the air a bit and falling back down. The worms are lifting up and falling back down, unpleasant. And this being stands tall. They look out at all of you. Their hair now is no longer plastered to their body. Their clothes aren't torn. Like everything it's perfect once more as they're standing above all of you. This radiant moonlight is coming off of them. These eyes of the mask look around at everyone, and they look down at you, Alora, and you feel just like this pulse inside you as the hand mark disappears off of your hand. And you hear,
"Thank you."
And in a flash, they're gone. The moon's gone. Everything sort of settles back down. The little forest sprites sort of like walk away and disappear as they're all leaving the area. Alora, your abilities now. You still have the cure wounds, but it's now 2 times a day instead of 3 times a day. The moon isn't necessarily gone. It's just the middle of the day, so you can't necessarily see the moon at the moment. I saw there was a question in chat. It's more like the moon suddenly appeared and then it went back to normal. So you feel some of that energy has left you. You see the warped queen in their form, and they're pretty big. They're looking down at all of you, and anger is radiating off of them, is safe to say.
What did you do?
I promised to help, and I held that promise, and I did that. But I do still feel like I have strength. Give me like 2 seconds. I can try to bring back your partner.
You promised to help me first.
I know. And the god wouldn't go see you. We tried, and he refused. And I foolishly had made a blood promise. I just kind of smacked TK because I can just feel her like me, like behind me.
Like under her breath this entire time. Fucking told you. Fucking told you.
You don't have enough power to fulfill your promise to me. To fix the forest and bring back my partner.
Not yet, my queen, but I can. You've seen how quickly I can grow.
When you say that they don't have enough power to fix the full promise, is it one or the other?
Yes. Now. Before. No.
Okay. No, I mean, is it a choice? The forest or your partner?
Yes.
What's the most polite way I can say it might be time to move on for the sake of your people?
Of course I'm choosing the forest. But this happened due to Alora promising another afterwards.
If I didn't promise, then I would have died, and the promise would have ended there. At least I am still here to carry out a part of the promise, even if it is partial.
Glyph stands up from the worms. Shakes. 4 worms.
They're just
off of their
camouflaged
hat.
in worms this whole time. Nobody even knew.
It is an awkward squelch in the middle of this very serious moment as
Bad.
Glyph gets up.
I take my hat off. Your Grace. Unfortunately, Alora found themselves in a position where they were unable to complete the original promise, but they can still help you. Also, Alora is connected and chosen by the World Tree. Their power will only grow.
If they're not eaten first. Their mother was chosen by the World Tree. And their mother was eaten.
Well, I am not her.
We must perform the ritual to help the forest heal. Then, I will have Forvin show you where the ghoul is hiding. And I wish for you to leave these woods for good.
It's a good deal.
Do not call upon us for aid in your moment of need, for we will not answer.
You see there is a few unicorns. Unicorns we all know and love. They step forward. They have this rotting fur on them. They have vines going like in their eyes and out their mouth and kind of stuff, like classic unicorns. They step forward, allowing you to hop on to get back to the Feywilds to perform the ritual.
Your Majesty, you said that we must perform a ritual. Would the ritual not be stronger with the, I hate saying it this way, but the power of 3 of us? Could I not revive your husband as well as combine our powers to restore the forest? 3 is better than 2. Or 1.
Fae and other immortal beings are not like you, other mortals. When you die, you don't have a soul. You become a part of the ether, existence, energy. To bring that back, you need the same. It cannot be done through simple magics or brute strength. It must be creation. If an immortal dies, they are usually gone. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I understand.
Mount up, and we will go.
You see, Forvin is guiltily looking out from the trees, just kind of peeking down at you. Their cowboy hat is pulled a little bit over their large, massive eye.
Scamp. I'm gonna swing by the consequence monster that the giants were ripping apart and just take some more samples before I go.
Of course, yeah. The deviant art Sonic Hellhog.
Yeah, and then I take my broken shield that served us well during that fight, and I'll maybe turn it into something horrible next time. Who knows?
That's the spirit.
Yeah, I might turn it into horrible body armor. Who knows?
There was also another monster that almost got out of your shield.
Yeah,
right?
but I got sliced. It's not worth the time if it can barely get out of a gravity well.
Cool. Yeah, Glyph kind of awkwardly looks back at what had been the siphonite farm, but is now just solid tomato plants.
Yeah, make a perception as you're looking over there.
Yeah, because there were
Screaming
some
tomatoes.
people in there.
There's tomato siphonites.
Oh no. I can't do math. What's 9 and 9? 18.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, folks.
Oh no.
We're going back in.
No!
Oh, I'm stoked. I wanted someone to go look. You look over at the siphonite farm, or once one was. It's now the Screaming Tomato Farm. And those who were transforming have grown into the plants. You see some hands are reached out, limbs snapped. Their mouths are open in this scream as there's the tentacles coming out, ending in syringes. Like they're trying to quickly get away, but their limbs are broken. They've all merged into these plants. There are so many, and normally this spell would have just sprouted maybe a couple, but this was such fertile magic that all the siphonites are now merged within the plants. And every couple seconds you can see one of them kind of move and kind of twist. So the siphonites who are growing in the farm are merged with the Screaming Tomato plants. And every so often, these tomatoes, they do just let out a scream.
Oh, hey, Glyph made horrors beyond my comprehension.
Oh, it was Laura. Don't worry. It was Laura farming.
Laura made horrors behind. I'm going to go grab a siphonite tomato because I am deeply intrigued.
No, Glyph's just standing there observing the horror of the siphonite tomato nightmare garden, and where he comes up with some little gardening shears.
Yeah, I have the shears. I'm like,
you grab one, you cut it off the vine, and there are bones in there.
oh, that's not gonna work.
Oh.
This ain't gonna go in my salad.
It's does this tomato have a skull? Maybe.
It's got bones. Yeah, I'll have a funky little bone tomato. This is a unique plant that it has never existed before.
TK's gonna see Glyph staring at that, and she's just gonna hold up the dark blade out to Glyph. Handle first.
I am very tired of burning things down.
Would you like me to?
Yes, please.
TK is wading into the tomato patch.
Yeah, I'm done with my samples. You can do your gardening.
All right, TK, you hold on to the dark blade. You hear, "What the hell? Oh, this is gross. No. Oh, no. Oh, stop it." As you're cutting the plants, like, "Oh, no. Oh, there was bodies in there. This is disgusting.
Shut the fuck up.
Am I grossed out? Yes. Would I do this again? Maybe. Am I doing it now? Unfortunately." And you're cutting through all these plants. And Darkblade is just ranting about the unfortunate. I've been used to kill gods. I have brought worlds to their knees. And here I am trimming some goddamn. Oh, no. Oh, it's in my mouth. Okay.
Darkblade will try anything once.
You're not wrong.
If you don't shut up when TK tells him to shut up, the moment she's done, she's just hurling it, just chucking that fucking sword.
Rude.
No!
Oh,
Lands-
sure, but me making a promise to a moon god's a bad idea. Never mind leaving a divine weapon out in the middle of fucking
Yeah, it just
It lands-
stabbed you.
It was
Nobody
left
else can
at the
use
sight of an
Darkblade.
explosion. It just lights everyone that touches it on fire.
Yeah,
But
nobody
you see,
else
there's
can
a
use
safe
Darkblade
house
but
not that
us.
far from here, and as seen in the other episode, there was an intern and some really stupid people.
We don't know
over there.
that.
Well, if they
Don't know
light on
that.
fire, that's their problem. That's
Yeah.
not my problem.
Well,
Plus,
you're
that's
We're
the
the only
difference.
ones. We're the only ones that can use Darkblade. We're regrettably bound for the rest of our lives, I think.
he's our best friend. Anyway.
He's our best friend. Not by choice.
Whether we like it or not.
I just want to say,
Darkblade.
Yeah, I mount
I, as
up.
a DM, am thrilled at Alora's decisions.
Mhm.
The Warped Queen was not, but I
Yeah.
myself, Lucas, fantastic.
That's pretty much where I'm at. That's like,
Fix
story-wise,
the moon.
better decision.
I put oops in the chat, and Eve was just like,
Oops.
like
I'll go get the dark blade from whatever tree it's stuck in. And I wipe it down because it's just covered in. I'm gonna pretend it's tomato juice. I'm gonna pretend it's just ketchup. It's just ketchup. And I'll wipe it off with one of my main handkerchiefs.
smoothie. This is the worst.
Darkblade, you were fantastically helpful in that battle.
I know. If you want me
I
to
hope
kill
you-
another demigod, I'm in. You know,
Might
for
have
old
to
time's sake.
pass on that for a little while.
Hopefully, we will not have to do that for a while. I'll put him with my stuff.
All right. Is everyone gonna get on the magical unicorns?
Oh.
It's already there.
I'm gonna,
I didn't know they were waiting on us.
Yeah, they can wait a little longer. They're immortal.
How about you, Kratok?
How far is it in terms of like travel time?
Probably a couple hours.
I'll fly there.
If
Okay.
they're immortal, I imagine that sometimes they just stop and stare off into space for several days.
Yeah, definitely. The problem
vibes are
is
immaculate
like an
when you're
immortal
immortal.
person worrying about the mortal people. Like, oh, they're gonna. If I zone out, they're just gonna die of old age. Like, I gotta get on this.
How does riding a warped unicorn compare to a majestic spider horse?
It's
It's
unsettling.
nothing. It's not the
It's-
same.
Oh, did they
So-
do that horrible, fancy,
So
like
when
fancy
you're,
horse walk?
Is that the
Yeah, they're
worst it could be?
they're definitely prancing for sure. You know, a horse's skin. That's always a great way to start a sentence.
Yeah.
So you sit down on the horse's skin. You expect the skin to be there and stay, because that's how skin works. Well, it moves around a lot. It's kind of like, like a hound dog, how you can just kind of move its face around. There's so much skin. It's kind of like that on the back. You're just like, you're moving around, so you have to grip onto this mane, like the vines
Don't
that are
like
going
it.
through the mane. And the skin just keeps moving, and it's the most uncomfortable ride. Well, not so much for Glyph, because you have you're just metal. So, but everyone else, it's not fun. Kratok is just sailing over, kind of like that moment when Bilbo like broke through the trees and like looked out and it was like beautiful and there's butterflies like up above. It's actually quite nice. While Kritak's like going overhead.
Everyone else is in hell right now.
Yeah, and you go down. It's just this twisted forest. You have trees that are like melded into one another, just at absolutely abstract angles. You have like animals that like you see these birds flap by, and they're just inside out as they're just sailing around, wetly flapping. You have like these elk that are coming around. They turn towards you, and just a ring of eyes all around their skull as they travel along. Just the wildlife of this forest has been so tainted and twisted. And you're going through, and it's a lot faster because before you were very cautious of the giants. You were trying to figure out where you're going. You're following Forvin, who kept getting distracted with the art of conversation, and now you are just following along a divine being who's well aware of where to go. So cuts down your travel time quite a bit. When you make it to the house, you watch as the warped queen's form just melds into the shorter form. By shorter, they're still quite taller than you, but like they're not this hulking beast anymore. They walk through the door, and the weird thing is when they walk through the door doesn't grow any larger, they don't grow any smaller, they just go through the door normally, but the door is also the same height as you, so it doesn't make a lot of sense as you're stepping through. You go through the Manor of Blood, and you make it to the other side, back into the Fey courts and the Feywild. The atmosphere is tense here. There's a lot of people who look pretty happy, honestly, because the forest is getting restored. This is what they've wanted for like well over 100 years. This forest is just been so twisted and torn, and it's physically affected the Fae to such a heavy degree. So they're quite excited this is going to happen. But there's also a lot that are really on edge because the Warped Queen is on edge, and when your ruler is on edge, you don't know what's going to happen. So a lot are just kind of waiting patiently. You're making your way up to this well that's in this glade of trees. You look up at the sky, and it's swirling like purples, darker blues. It almost looks like an aurora borealis as you look up at this night sky. And before, it was just the afternoon when you came inside. There are a lot of Fae that are traveling around you. They're like quickly pushing past you to get a better seat. You have like other ones that are trying to get close to the well, but not too close. The Warped Queen is walking forward. They have this crown on their side that is composed of the bones of their partner, as they are just walking forward with purpose. They stand beside the well, and they turn their face towards Alora. Alora, you feel a pull towards the well, and you know exactly what this is. You feel how sick the forest is. You felt it ever since you showed up at the Warped Woods, and it's kind of like you're looking at this just open sore when you see the well, and you know you can fix it. You know you can heal this.
I wish that was my brain having an idea. Oh crap. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna like hop off the fleshy unicorn, and I'm gonna essentially, I don't know how you feel about this, but my brain is.
You tell me what Alora does. This is all up to you. You could just straight up be like, "Fuck you," and like just like leave. You know, like this is your character.
It's more of just like logistics with rules and such, but I'm gonna cast plant growth.
Okay. What would you like to cast it on?
The ground.
Okay.
But it's gonna be like in small patches, and I'm gonna use some of the worms and my dirt. not exclusively like casting all of it, but like still having that like intention. So I'm not specifically casting anything besides plant growth and just being like, please heal.
Okay. And you're
like,
doing this like as you go up to the well, or are you going to the well and then doing this?
I'm kind of. Why? I'm sorry if y'all heard that. People in Texas are douchebags with their cars.
Oh, I can't hear it. No worries.
Oh, bless. It was a vroom vroom car and it was loud. I'm gonna kind of put it around the well almost.
Okay.
And essentially treat that like I'm like how you would like toss a coin into there to like cast a wish.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to poison the water supply. So like I'm kind of like patting it around and like resealing it.
Okay. So you are walking around this, performing this ritual as you're trying to get in this mind space of healing the forest, healing the ground. The grass is growing, these flowers are sprouting up around this well. And you see vines are creeping up the side of the well and just covering it. There's like moss that starts to grow along the sides of it. Just this plant life starts creeping out from this well as you're going around. You get in front of this well, you're looking down, the brackish water is just sloshing back and forth. You feel the power building up inside of you. You feel like you're connected at this point. You feel the intention of what you want to do. So, describe to me what this creature looks like as you focus on the well, you focus on healing the forest, and what the creature looks like who is going to go about healing the forest as a custodian of the warped woods.
It's like a snake owl hybrid.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure how to explain it, but it's almost
a
like
snowl, if you will.
a snowl, yes. It's gonna basically just sort of slither. Think more snake than owl, but it's like slithering like an actual snake as it comes up out of the well, and it's like this very like opalescent, that's the word, right? Shiny, kind of see-through almost, like you can't see the insides. Just a shiny, like very light pale blue little creature. And it's not really much bigger than like maybe a foot or two.
Right.
It's like a little baby, like barn owl, if that kind of size, but it's covered in feathers.
Okay.
So it's a little feathery guy, and he has little feet, but like on the belly of him, and wings.
Do the feet
so
is there legs, or is it just straight feet coming off the belly?
So not an owl, but counts, right? So this part is snake. This part is snake. This part is owl. These parts are owl. So he can still stand like an owl. He just looks like a snake.
Okay.
I personally, I think I prefer Ben's description of a snowl, which is an owl's body and a snake's limbs.
Snakes don't have limbs. No,
Exactly. So it's just
I want
a
the
tube
snake
owl.
to fly.
It's just a tube
That's just
owl.
Hootie. I love Hootie.
It's making me
Everyone
think of
loves Hootie.
those skits, The Man and the Owl.
It's
all
like
right.
a little owl-shaped potato.
Yeah.
Just lay it on the ground.
Love Hootie.
You focus this energy, and this creature comes slithering out of the well. And they're tiny. They kind of coil around your arm, and they slink around you, and they lift and open up their wings and flap. You're focusing this energy that's coming out of you, and it is pouring out of you. It feels in one way like a big relief, but in the other sense, you're losing power. All these additional abilities that you had gained from the drop of life are gone now. You feel all this flowing into this creature, the custodian of the warped woods. Roll me a D10 and the percentile D10. And tell me what percentage you get.
I know what this looks like. 97.
Hell yeah. All right. This is determining how big this thing is going to be when you pour all the power in. If you rolled low, it's gonna just be this cute tiny little custodian. You are pouring power in. There is enough here to bring back 2 demigods. You've got a lot in you. You are just surging this into this creature. It is growing and growing and coiling around until finally this thing must be 50, 60 feet long. And this large feathery snake head comes and it's looking right at you, Alora. And the eyes are inquisitive and kind as it flicks this tongue that when it like comes near you and tastes the air, you feel like this wave of wind come and like kick up at your face. Its feathers bristle a little bit as it spreads these very large, colorful wings. And you can see like the shimmer on all of its feathers. And it just begins to snake off, and you see these little feet on it that are helping it move along a little bit faster. The Warped Queen watches this being go, and they go right through into the manor and just snake their way through it. And the door closes behind it.
You have upheld your end of the bargain on restoring the forest. This custodian will bring the woods back to their former glory in time. I thank you. We all thank you for this. As I promised, Forvin will lead you to where the ghoul known as Resmir is with their ilk in the Enclave of Terra. Follow Forvin. They will not lie. They will not trick you. They will be true and show you the path. I promise this to you as the Queen of the Warped Woods.
And then they just go back to gazing into the well. And you look down at the well, and it's no longer this brackish water. It's almost like a beautiful light blue, as you can see right through it. A lot of the Fae just start rejoicing. They are happy as hell. You have brought back their home, something that was ripped away from them by the kingdom of the Arcanium when they created the spell shield well over 100 years ago. They are furious about this, and now finally they have been given a chance to get back the home that they've loved. And now this being, this custodian of the Warped Woods, will slowly do that, and they'll be able to help. They feel like they've been given purpose and a home back once more, as there is just this chorus of cheering as the Fae are just jumping around you. You see like this red cap takes off their hat and they're spinning it around, cheering. Flicks of blood are going everywhere as they're just having a ball of a time. Like there's just like these unicorns are prancing around, just excited. So many pixies are flying everywhere. There's just a multitude of these Fae beings that are all just cheering in this horrific looking mass of corrupted, twisted Fae. But you, Alora, know that these forests can now heal.
Your Majesty.
Yes.
With the amount of magic that I have poured into this, would it be possible to lay your partner to rest in this earth and potentially bring him back? It was healing magic after all, and that's what I poured into it. If not, I do feel responsible to where I should find a way to bring them back. I did uphold that. I did have that promise to you, and I do intend to uphold it.
When the Fae die, they enter the cycle once more. My partner is a part of the ether, the life force that flows in all things. When they come back, they will be someone else. I will not know them, but that'll be their chance at life once more. There's nothing we can do, but rest assured I will lay them to rest.
Do you mind if I aid you in that process? To ensure the most beautiful life decorates their grave spot.
Roll me a persuasion at the moment, because you see they're on the fence about it.
I'm not being mean, I'm being genuine. I'm a big crybaby. Leave me alone. I just want to help. I got a 16 plus, you said persuasion, right? Plus 1, so 17?
You're looking at the Warped Queen. They're looking down at you. This veil is still over their face, so you can't judge based on facial expression. And a few moments pass. It's tense. You feel just this air is still rippling with so much life energy. Everyone who was wounded before, your wounds have completely sealed up with how much energy is in the air. Your spells aren't back, but your wounds are sealed. And so you're at full hit points.
You're welcome.
If you didn't heal from this, I don't know what you'd heal from. The Warped Queen looks at you.
Very well. Let us do it here, near the beginning of all things. You may dig the grave.
And they think for a moment, and they conjure a very rudimentary shovel and place it at your feet.
Joke's on you, I can mold earth, so.
I don't know if they hand you a shovel.
Oh, I
think
will.
that's
I will.
kinda
I'll
making
use the
a
shovel
point.
while I'm
If you
casting
just-
mold earth. That earth is gonna be moving like the driest dirt in the desert.
Yeah.
Yeet.
Are the rest of us just awkwardly watching?
You're
all
like
this?
getting bumped into by Faye. Like there's people cheering at one point. Another one of those happiness drinks enters Quirtox and TK's hands.
Oh,
And like there's just people like cheering and it's a celebration around you, but around the Warped Queen it is just like this tense mood. Almost like the revelry doesn't reach there. Like there's a barrier of tension.
Yeah, TK isn't drinking that.
For one.
She's mad and she wants to stay mad. she
Just-
gonna go get some tequila and stay mad on tequila.
Uh-huh. Weary doesn't have anything to drink either. Weary's got a lot of tiny science to do.
How about Kratok?
Katak's just kind of quietly sitting there drinking.
As you are consuming the unicorn soul, Kratok, you are feeling happiness flow into you, of course. It's not like it changes who you are, what you're thinking about, but you definitely feel better. Your spirits are lifted at the moment. So, Alora, you are digging this grave. You are just scooping out using your mold earth as it's helping you. You're just moving these shovel that you are clearing out a fairly large area near the well. The bones are disassembled from the crown that once wore and was worn on the giant. Let's see if I can get this going. They set them down, and this magic flows through the bones as they look more in a humanoid shape now, as they're laid down. The celebration around the area stops as a lot of the Fae are are realizing what's happening. And while a lot of them are still like kind of in a giddy, smiley mood because they're drinking the souls of unicorns, they are realizing that the procession has started. And the warped queen steps to the side and then gestures, and you watch as fae start lining up. They start taking handfuls of dirt, one at a time. Each of them are placing a handful down as they're going. The unicorns kind of shove a hoof forward. The large trolls made out of vines and moss and rock are lifting pinches of dirt as they sprinkle it down. What are the 5 of you doing?
I'm in line in the procession.
Okay. How about you 4?
TK's wandered off to go find Bubbles.
Okay.
I'm gonna slink off with my alchemy kit and test out some ideas that I have going on. But I will like still be close enough to kind of watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. But like far enough away that I'm not like interrupting anything.
It takes Glyph a moment to kind of register what they're doing because they've never been to a funeral. So it's kind of confusing at first, and then they realize what it is, and they stay off where they are, but they take off their hat and they hold it over their chest because it doesn't seem appropriate for them to kind of be in that procession. They're not organic. They're not part of nature. They're not part of this, but they will respectfully remove their hat and just stand almost at attention.
Kurtok?
Kurtok just kind of solemnly watches the procession happen, and he has his cap in hand over his chest.
Each of the fae go up, and they're placing this handful of dirt down onto this set of bones. Alora, you are slowly moving up this line. You reach down and grab a handful of this dirt that you've moved yourself. You look down at this figure, and you can feel now, as you're so connected to these woods, the importance they had, the safety they gave everyone who used to live here. Before the woods were warped and twisted, they were killed when the spell shield went around the Arcanium. You are holding on to this dirt, and you sprinkle it down on top of the many other handfuls that have been put down. The warped queen goes and lifts a hand of this dirt as well. They're looking down at the body. You can see, as you're close enough, Alora, you watch as this teardrop comes from underneath the veil and drops down. They look at this dirt. They look down at the skeleton that is partially covered.
Meh, words. I always do that. I was trying to say, was like I have like a few words just like as I'm right next to the warped queen and I can see everything. I'm just gonna kind of speak in Druidic, and it's just gonna be Nunc Quiesco Rex Metefali Penite, and it's basically rest now, my king. I'm sorry I failed you. And as I'm saying that, I'm putting my succulent flower that I have like next to the grave So once it's packed, basically I'll put it on top. Nope. Lucas disappeared now. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. We have like 10 minutes. I couldn't even wait.
What's going on? Oh, like the voice is broken.
The voice is, it's broken.
The voice, it's broken.
The Fae Queen, they're broken.
They were before. we had to delay a whole episode to talk to the Fae Queen because of how broken the
There we
voice
go.
was.
Oh,
There we go.
She was so choked up.
She's really feeling it.
Okay. Please don't die on me, voice mod. It just had, and then it had to update. Too much fun. The warped queen looks at this skeleton that's partially covered in the dirt, and they look down at the dirt in their hand as they wait for a moment and say,
I never wanted to bury you, because that means I would have to accept you're gone. I always thought there would be a way. Every day I've fantasized about you coming back, us getting one more day, us getting 10 more minutes. And I was so close. I had you. You were almost here with me when we brought it all back. Thank you for what you've given me. And I'll see you in the next cycle.
and they drop the rest of this dirt as you see the dirt itself now is moving back normally, and it forms over the grave. And you watch as this little sprout pops up from the grave. It looks like a small tree is starting to grow.
I must be alone now.
And the warped queen kneels down at the grave for one last moment and then walks off hurriedly. So now you're all somewhat in the vicinity. TK, you found Bubbles. You're kind of sitting on this bench not too far away, looking back at all these people that are surrounding the well. Bubbles is licking her face, very unaware of the situation, this toad wolf, as you're just sort of scratching their head absentmindedly. This pattern of just kind of sitting and relaxing that you yourself are not accustomed to, but at the same time it feels like an old habit of trying to center yourself and take a breather. Kratok, you're watching everybody. You're remembering a lot of moments of people talking to you about how this could be what you have to deal with when your twin siblings pass because the nightmares were too much. And knowing now that you have this opportunity to save your siblings, you won't have to be here for this moment, at least for not for a long time. Glyph, it's an odd feeling because for so long you were charged with removing life. And you're here now for the first time seeing it off. You've killed things before, you've seen things die, but you never really stuck around for what's next. And so this is somewhat of a surreal moment as you're watching the organics process this. Laura, you're settling back and you're watching all these Fae come together and and they're talking to each other quieter now. The celebration has died off. It's more solemn. And Weary, you are looking at things, tinkering, mixing, and just thinking in the back of your head about those that you left behind at Sekathet, your teacher who was taken away. These mixed feelings about your teacher, trust, other people in your life, as you're just trying to figure out these new things that you've acquired. I think this is a good place to call this episode.
One time we're not like mentally or physically scarred, you're emotionally traumatizing us. I don't really appreciate
a
it.
quiet moment where we have to think about our past. Shoot.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, ow,
Ouch.
damn.
Contemplate life and death and the consequences of our
past has
actions.
hands.
Damn, Bass, you got hands. So did today's session go about how you thought it would?
Yeah.
Something like that. Oh, Eve, you're muted.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I just said more or less.
Teehee.
I wasn't sure, honestly. I was like, well, Laura might hold off and talk to the Warp Queen first, where the Warp Queen would be like, hell no. Destroy the abomination. TK's right. Let's get this party started.
Thank you.
He's always right.
But
Yeah, it's always right.
no, there
He's
wasn't
gonna
a
bite us in
right.
the ass. I know it.
There wasn't a right answer in this,
Ha!
or there wasn't a wrong answer. I should
We
say.
fixed the moon. That's
You-
cool.
You did.
Maybe I could be lying about that. We don't know.
Well, you definitely
didn't-
saw the moons, and then you didn't see the moons. So
I
something
didn't
happened.
sense
with the moons.
anything. I didn't sense anything weird, like untoward when they were like puppeting me, right?
There's nothing
That was
malicious.
pretty untoward, if you ask me.
Well, besides the physical body horror, I meant like emotionally.
You gave them permission, but no,
Yeah.
you never felt. It was very primal. All of it. The biggest thing screaming was just the will to survive and live
Tomatoes.
again. Yeah,
And
but
the
you
tomatoes.
you rolled too low to kind of pierce the veil. So you did. You all have fun today
Yes.
at my fantasy funeral?
My throat is very raw from yelling.
Yeah.
Gotta
I
have
love
that tea
fighting
with
with you.
honey.
I think it's always my favorite thing. It's just fighting with TK because I'm just like, what are you gonna do? Bully the child?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
answer is
that's
yes.
always the answer. And I'm like,
answer is
okay, fine.
Fine, I will bully the child.
Like that how to talk to a short person meme. Laura's
Oh,
just
that's good.
what are you
I
gonna
like
do?
that.
That needs to get drawn.
Ooh.
Hmm. Well, this was a blast. I always love having these emotional moments. I don't feel like there's enough in D&D Adventures. You got to bring out the feels once in a while. You gotta say goodbye to dead people in Dungeons and Dragons because you make so many of them. So
Oh, so many corpses.
so many. I should go back and count how many the Randos have made. All right. Well, this was good. I had a lot of fun with this, and it's nice having kind of a session without combat, as our last 3 sessions have been filled with it. But it's time for that draw.
Ah.
Let's see who's gonna win. Who's gonna win? Let's see. All righty. Clicking the button, letting it load. Who do we got? Who do we got? We
Did you say
got
licking the
Would
butt?
Like to Rage.
Oh, yay!
Congratulations, Would Like to Rage. You won some Monster of the Week. But I'm clicking it again.
Oh, there was secretly 2 the whole time.
Oh, shit! I tricked you all again. And we got this loading. Why is this? This is an easy thing to do. Why does this website need to load in this thing? All right, we got Shirley Shoes.
Sheila shoes.
Shoes.
All right, rad as hell.
No,
So-
randos.
Would Like to Rage and Shirley Shoes. I will contact you after this, I'll send you a message on the Whisper networks of Twitter, or if you are on Discord, just say, "Hey, that's me" on the Discord. That'll be easier for me. But I'll figure out the whispering things, and I will send you the codes. For those who are like, "Dang it, I didn't win something." Good news! Next week, it's Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, sorry.
It's gonna be a draw. So get your drawing fingers. I mean, really, all you gotta do is type in the chat. Show up here next Tuesday. We're doing another draw. Oh my god, this is rad. Thank you, Roll20, for these wonderful moments and gifts. Everyone loves free things. You could win something too. So show up next session. Who knows? Maybe you'll win.
Woo.
All right. Let's just go around the table and anywhere we can find you, any cool things you got going on, anything you want to talk about, even just like, some cautionary tales, or anything you want to recommend. My name is Lucas. I have been your GM for the evening. You can find me. I run the Ballad of the 7 Dice Twitter at Ballad7Dice. We have a Patreon, rad as hell. Pay what you want. Just drop $1 and you got access to 15 hours of extra content. There's so much stuff there. There's audio dramas that tie into this story. We got it all. We got one-shots, lore-sodes, you name it, we got it. And also it helps go to supporting the show, which is fantastic. We also have a merch store. Let's see if I got this. Where you can get a shirt like this one. Will it phase me out? No. Come on, don't. So Rise Nyarlathotep. There's also other cool shirts there for Ballad of the 7 Dice, Death Shift, all that good stuff. I am going to recommend that when you're walking down the stairs, look, or else you will end up like me, and you will bruise the hell out of the 2 toes in the corner of your foot, and walking sucks for a couple days, and your foot looks like somebody hit it with a hammer. Fun. My recommendation is going to be Response Team Omnicron. This is a Lancer actual play, and it's a lot of fun. It is some good old-fashioned hard sci-fi that I love. We got mech suits, we got people shooting missiles, we got people wondering what are we going to eat on these weird barren planets. Anna, who joined us on The Lost Tower of Ambrosia, is on there. And there's just a lot of wonderful players that it's a lot of fun. I started listening to it just recently. I powered through the first 3 episodes because I love good sci-fi. So check that out. I think they have 5 or 6 episodes, so you can catch up fast. So check that out. Response Team Omnicron. All right. Ian.
That's a really cool recommendation because Lancer is one of those systems that I look at longingly.
It's cool.
And I go, man, I want to pilot a mech that messes with the causality of the universe and says when I didn't die, when I did die, I didn't, which was the only time I played it was a one-shot. That was my mech. My mech was a little garbage heap. But once a fight, I could say, no, I didn't actually explode that time. I was fine. And it freaks people out, and it's awesome. So yeah, Lancer's a really cool game. Give it a look. It's very tactical, crunchy stuff. So I'm excited to see how they turn that into an audio medium.
Lancer is so fucking bad.
Oh man.
So live vicariously through them.
Yeah, I would love to play some Lancer.
Let's play some Lancer.
Let's play some Lancer. You can find me on Twitter at Ian_Caliente. That's Ian_hot in Spanish. And I'm gonna recommend. I don't want to accidentally steal Eve's recommendation again, so I'm not gonna recommend any Animorphs related content this time. Instead, I'm gonna recommend my friend's stream. Which I have saved right here, and I remember the name of. It's Prof Pines, so PROFPINES. They are currently streaming Horizon Zero Dawn, so if you want to stop by and say hi after you finish watching us, you should tell them that Ian sent you, and I'm sure they will very much appreciate it.
Meg.
Hey, I'm Meg. You can find me on Twitter at Narnia's Pants, where I screech about being a teacher, post random selfies. Today's thing was Sailor Scouts. Thanks. The internet. Love it. And yeah. As always, I appreciate any and all support that I can get through my Linktree stuff. I've got 2 Amazon wish lists. One is like actual books that I can use for myself to get better as a teacher and to also read to my kids because they actually like it when I do that. Who knew? Read to your kids, guys. And then another is just like all the instruments and usual classroom supply stuff. That way I could actually figure out where the bottom of my lists were because it got really long for a while. If you're in America, 1, I am sorry. 2, I hate it here too. 3, we just got those free COVID tests. So you can go to covidtests.gov and get your 4 free tests. Do it now. The longer you wait, the later you're going to get them. Those of us who have had it, it sucks. And trust me, most of us are vaxxed. It ain't fun, which means it could only be worse if you're not. So try and stay as safe as possible. Wear your masks. Ditch the cloth ones. They're not safe anymore. Omicron is the biggest problem. Stay safe. Thank you.
Too true. Jess.
Yeah, I'm Jess. I'm art_fantastical on social media, Instagram, Twitter. I'm usually just posting about other people's shows and hyping other people's projects because I love what people are up to. One thing I do want to give a shout out to, a tentative shout out, Archive 81, the new show on Netflix. I'm only halfway through it, so I'm not sure how it's going to end, but it's based on an audio drama. So like, hot dog, we could all get Netflix shows someday. But it's very, I'm going to listen to these tapes or I'm going to watch these old VHSs and see what's on them. Ooh, mysterious. And there are mysterious mysteries afoot and there's twisty twists and spooky things. So if you're into that, check it out. I've not listened to the original podcast. Apparently it's very different. But that could also be worth listening to. So Archive 81, give it a listen.
If you like the monsters I do, or you like the just general cerebral horror transdimensional creatures and that kind of stuff, hell yeah, Archive 81. I'm so excited to watch this show. I listened to the podcast and also best rituals ever. But yeah. Eve.
Hello, you can find me over at Copper Harpy on the Twitter. That's Copper as in the metal, Harpy as in the bird monster. I am going to recommend, and thank you very much for not taking it, Ian. Anamorphin Time.
That's the one. It's really funny.
It's so fucking funny. It's easily up there with like fucking Neo Scum and Finish It for me in terms like it so fast it has shot into my top 10. It is so good.
I'm sorry.
Highly
what's this one
recommend
called?
it. Anamorphing Time.
It's similar to another friend of the show Sailing All Blue, where it's 2 people, one of which has a lot of experience with Animorphs, and then the other one doesn't, and one is making the other read Animorphs together.
Oh, that's
It's
good.
so good.
It's very good.
I've just been like dying the entire time. Like I repeatedly just started wheezing loudly at work while I'm listening. And I don't know how to explain a joke about somebody eating of vegetables. Well, you might as well just put on a fucking dress and then we'll go out for a nice dinner.
I just like that they're so excited about how evil Visser 3 is.
Yes,
they're just like, yeah, it's a blast.
Time they start playing Down with the Sickness. Anytime Visitor 3 pops out, it's great. It's so fucking good. Go listen to it. It's a good time, and you don't have to know anything about Animorphs.
No, they explain it pretty good. In terms of listening to Animorphs, I just finished the one where everyone turns into skunks for a little bit to raise some baby skunks. And the ending for that one is delightful. It's like the nicest ending they've had in a long time.
That's where they call it, though. They're like, no more nice endings.
I can only imagine.
All right.
Yeah.
Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason _42 here and on Twitter. And I'm just out here making bad puns in the chat. Well, thanks for coming out, everyone.
All right. Thank you for coming by. Remember, next week we are doing a Thirsty Sword Lesbians, and we will have plenty more puns for you next time. Until next time, everyone. Ta-ta.
Bye.
Goodbye.